All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. Shout out to Yeah Right the Matrix. He says he needs to know how to buy stock. Yeah Right, you can definitely figure it out. There's all kinds of free brokerage apps. Webull. I'm just saying this before we even get into the stream because he just sent me a text message. There might be other people who are in the same situation, but there's all kinds of free brokerage apps. And again, like if you download Webull, it's a legit app. You set up your bank account, you transfer however much money you want from your bank account to the app, and then once it's in the account, then you can buy shares in the stock you want. That might be helpful based on what we're going to talk about in today's stream. For people who don't have as much money who'd like to invest, the Robinhood app is nice because it allows you to buy fractional shares of a stock. So say like a stock price was $150 a share. Maybe you don't have $150, but you got $30. That means you could invest $30 and buy a fifth of a share. It'll still appreciate or depreciate. It'll move with the stock. But yeah, there's all kinds of free brokerage apps that are legit. And what else is nice about a lot of those brokerage apps is actually like if you just keep your money fluid in the account, it actually pays a higher interest rate on your money just sitting in there than your bank account. But anyway, want to talk about XRP again. At the beginning of the year, I said XRP, maybe 2023 will be its year. We thought maybe 22 would be its year. It wasn't its year, but then there was a reason to think it could be 2023, and I started to notice something about Tuesdays in XRP, and I want to talk to you more about Tuesday in XRP because I had another good day yesterday. It's having a good day so far today. And then I also want to talk about the FDA approving Narcan. And I also want to make an announcement. Again, this month we did start an investments group on the Patreon. The price was $11. With it, you also got all the sports content, which is at a rock bottom price of $5. Just so you know, on Patreon, the price for the investments group is going to drop down to $5. So starting next month, you'll get all the investment content. You'll get all the sports content. The reason I'm doing that is because we only have about, 20 or so people in the investments group. I'd really like to get more people in there because, again, I really do have a lot of important information to teach on this subject. I am someone who figured out by how their late 20s to essentially escape the slave grind, have a house paid for. So, again, people look at me as the Gematria guy, but the reason I became the Gematria guy was because I had enough free time to break away from the slave grind to research what was going on in this world, something most people don't do. So I'm trying to teach other people how to get out of the slave grind, and now with this knowledge, also take advantage of the rig market, the rig crypto world. So anyway, all this month, we've been keeping track of the markets, doing a little bit with crypto, and tracking the patterns. And again, I've already been teaching you guys about this stuff for free for years. It's how I helped a lot of people make a lot of money on Moderna at the beginning of the pandemic. We knew why the stock was going to skyrocket on May 7th, 2020, and it did. And it's just like how, today the FDA approves Narcan by the numbers. This is the same stuff going on in the market every day, you guys. Today's date numerology is 39. Narcan equals 39 like federal. Big number, like masonry, based on the 39 books of the Old Testament. So it's not an accident that the feds approved Narcan today on the 39 date numerology. And again, you pay attention to the market, you see this stuff's going on day after day. So right now we're tracking the patterns and, using the knowledge in the same way we do to take advantage of sports. Another stellar day in the NBA yesterday. Another big Charlotte upset. Charlotte 39 gives the Thunder their 39th loss. Again, Charlotte and 39, it's hit for us on 4 10-plus point upsets in the last month. This knowledge, from the market to sports to news, it's the knowledge to see through it. Anyway, coming back to the changes. On my platform, Free to Find Truth, again, if you guys aren't signed up for the platform, it's totally free to sign up for. It's social media for truth seekers. It's censorship free. The only rule is don't be a troll. As long as you're not trolling, you're free to use the platform. But it is free. There's also, you can sign up for the sports picks on here, which is $5 a month, just like the Patreon. I'm going to keep the markets and investments group at $11 a month on this tier, which also gets you access to the sports. The reason I'm going to do that is because I'm going to pour in even more information to the markets and stocks on this page. Patreon, you'll still get the weekly live stream. You'll get the daily recaps. But I'm going to be doing a lot more real-time stuff with markets and investments on this page. And the thing is, what I found is once you set this group up, you can't change it. I don't know exactly why that is, but I'm going to keep that tier at $11 on here, and it'll get more perks than the Patreon one. Plus, the other nice thing is Patreon, the trolls, the paid-for agents that harass me 24/7, 365, something I've been living with since 2014 because I'm putting out literally the most important information in the world to expose what's actually going on, which isn't an arrogant statement, it's just a factual one. But again, I do have a paid-for group of trolls who harass me 24/7, 365. They live on my Patreon. The reason why is because I can't get them off of Patreon. If you block somebody on Patreon, they get an instant refund. They're back 5 seconds later, and they're even more active. I can keep them off my own website. So it's troll-free over here. You'll get more content. If you do want to stay at the $11 tier, you'll get even more information, real-time updates throughout the day. Because I realize as I'm watching the news each day, every day I turn on the news and it's the same thing. Stocks way up in the morning, matches the date numerology, and if you get it early in the day, it's usually still going up. So I think I'm going to get a Bloomberg subscription. Sadly, I don't really want to support them because they're one of the major anti-Second Amendment groups. But Bloomberg, they do put out the big tips the night before. They're kind of expensive, but they do have the big tips the night before. I'll be passing that information along on the higher tier over at freetofindtruth.com. And by the way, if you guys want to sign up for this, you might be able to sign up for it through your cell phone if your cell phone gives you some kind of message like, oh, this site can't be trusted or something, like Apple's doing that. Just come to the website version, freetofindtruth.com. Sign up on a computer. If you don't have a computer and you only have a cell phone, you might need to go to the library or something, but again, the website is totally legit. All your information's protected. I pay a whole bunch each month for all that kind of security. So it's just big tech companies like Apple that are hating. All right, so anyway, that we know why Narcan was approved on the 39-date numerology by the feds. And again, this stuff's going on every single day. The reason we knew it would be Moderna on 5/7 is because Vaccine and Bill Gates are 57, and he backed Moderna, and big number with all the rituals. That Jesuit Moderna company. But anyway, again, XRP and Tuesday. Why does XRP and Tuesday matter? First, before I even get to it, just notice. Yesterday, March 28th, that was a Tuesday. XRP was up 7.33%. Its best day of the month was a week earlier, March 21st, a Tuesday, up 25.49% for the day. The day before that was March 14th. Its worst Tuesday, but still a positive day. It was in the green. Slight appreciation. And the week before that, Tuesday, March 7th, up about 3%. So it's the only day of the month that it was in the green every single day, a Tuesday, and including its very best day of the month where it was way up. Why? Why Tuesday? Well, look at the Gematria Tuesday. 23 forwards, 40 in reverse, XRP 20. It's Ripple coin. Ripple's 40. Ripple also equals 86. And the 86th day of the year was March 27th. It had a good day on the 86th day of the year. Again, Gematria, alphabetic order, forwards and backwards with numerology, 4 base ciphers. And you see why they made it this way. Again, in the 16th century, the language, the English language, the Gregorian calendar, the Jesuits, they control all of this stuff. And just like how we've nailed Bitcoin predictions time and time again, understanding who runs the whole show, it's the same people who control XRP, the market, your news. It's that cabal that goes back to Rome, the Jesuits. Again, look into Bitcoin and how many of the engineers are big-time Catholics. Remember, the Vatican's an independent city-state with its own central bank, meaning it can pull money out of thin air, control markets, just like other central banks can, like how the Fed here, which is... I'll make a point here about the Fed, but again, the same people who control the Vatican control the Fed. Anyway, here's something to watch. The best day of the year for this coin was last Tuesday, the 80th day of the year. The full name of the company that's behind XRP is Ripple Labs, Inc., which is 80. 80. On the 80th day of the year, the stock value shot up. Special number 2, because Bavarian Illuminati is 80, which was founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. If you've seen the recent movie House Party, they go to the Illuminati party, and one of them says, God bless you, and then they realize they're not in the club because it's only about Satan. Satan also equals 80, going with the Illuminati. But anyhow, the 80th day of the year was the big stellar day. Now, in the base ciphers, Ripple Labs, Inc. equals 136 in the most simple cipher. So what's 136 minus 80? It's 56, right? 56, the most special number to the Jesuits, who no doubt are behind all this. And we've been talking about XRP over the years and all the Jesuit fingerprints all over it, just like Bitcoin, like how Bitcoin equals Jesuit order. But 56 days later will be May 16th. And obviously that won't be the end of the road, but I am really curious to see where the price is from its pretty much its greatest day ever to 56 days later, May 16th, the 136th day of the year. And I suppose there's even, with regards to the Illuminati and Satan and, their symbol Baphomet, there could be even something more interesting about this, but Baphomet's another one of those words that's 8136, like Ripple Labs Inc. So let's watch what happens with XRP between now and May 16th, 56 days after its very stellar day on the 80th day of the year. But again, let's just continue to watch XRP in 2023 as well. And if the pattern of Tuesday just continues to repeat, do Tuesdays continue to be good days, positive days? Again, all markets will go up and down, but the only day where it was green each day was Tuesday. And that's what we already pointed out weeks ago. XRP and Tuesday in 2023. And by the way, a lot of these brokerage apps, they do also allow you to, transfer your money from your bank account to your brokerage app, and then you can buy stocks. On several of them, you can also buy crypto. And, even like CashApp. Most people have CashApp. That's now a new easy way to buy crypto. You can transfer money from your bank to your CashApp, and then with CashApp, you can buy crypto. And even being aware of this, I'm just going to be forthright. I'm not going to invest in XRP. I'm not going to invest in any of these cryptocurrencies because, again, I don't want to be a part of it. But I might look back someday and say that was dumb. Even right now, I'd battle in my mind and say it's kind of dumb, maybe, because I realize there's a lot of money to be made here. I mean, XRP has a long way to go up. It's just I recognize who runs this, and this is how they're hooking people into electronic currency. And again, you start to look at who's behind XRP, the people that are up on the board for it. A lot of big names in the world, names that go right back to the Fed. And by the way, the Fed was established when, what's his face? Pretty much the first New World Order president was 56 years old. Why can I not think of his name right now? I have an old post on it. Hold on. Well, I can't believe I can't think of Woodrow. Wasn't it Woodrow Wilson? Let me see. I cannot think right now. My mind's failing me. Yeah, it was Woodrow Wilson. So the Federal Reserve established December 23rd. Oh, there's that number 23 again. 1913, the last day of Saturnalia, while Woodrow Wilson was in the closing days of being 56 years old. Again, huge number. And let's not forget that in the 56 pandemic, if you will, the big banks and big tech took over the world. But yeah, it was the closing days of Woodrow, born in 56, being 56 years old when they did that. He turned 57 15 days later, and the Federal Reserve was established on the Pope's 205th day of his age. Woodrow Wilson, 205, all-seeing eye on the dollar bill. All-seeing eye also 56, like how the words "In God We Trust" were put on the dollar bill in 56. And the word "I" is 35, like how the "I" was put on the dollar bill in 35. Again, it all goes back to the Catholic Church, Genesis 3:5, about the eyes of God, these people playing God over the world, largely with money. People always come here dumbfounded. How could you get people to do this? It's like, were you born yesterday? I mean, money? Money makes people do crazy things. I don't know why you can't answer these questions yourself. Too much of that tarted juice. But anyway, that is the problem with most people. And again, you guys, do support the investments group because there's a lot of good information there. Pay down your debt. That's first. Before you invest in anything, if you got debt, pay down your debt because you're definitely not going to be investing in anything that's going to be appreciating more than how much your debt's appreciating for the banks that have lent that money to you. So again, before you invest $1, make sure all your debts are paid off. Once your debts are paid off, then you can start investing. Again, look how much interest you're paying every month on those credit cards. Transfer your credit card balance to a 0% APR card. They'll give you that for at least 12 months. You got to pay it down in those 12 months. Otherwise, you get a new, even crazier interest rate and you'll be paying even more. But yeah, if you have debt, do not invest a thing. Pay down your debt, then invest. And if you want to learn more about how this whole game's rigged, sign up for the Patreon. Again, you can get it all for $5 on Patreon. You'll just have to deal with the trolls. Or you can sign up on my website, Free to Find Truth. Again, it is the social media platform for truth seekers. If you log in, it's a lot like your Facebook, Twitter, the people you follow. You'll see their posts. And in the group section, that's where the sports information is. Somebody set up a dating thing in there. It's free. The Markets and Investments Club. So anyhow, it's just like social media, though. But then when you get in the groups, you also get the content I'm putting out. So freetofindtruth.com. You can support it there, or you can sign up through Patreon. Again, there will be more content on the Free to Find Truth platform. We'll leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. And until next time.